Ubisoft's next upcoming mainline Assassin's Creed title, Assassin's Creed Mirage, is just around the corner, and there has been a ton of news, information, and gameplay footage that we've been getting to see over the past few weeks or so. Recently, Ubisoft invited a ton of creators from YouTube to test out Assassin's Creed Mirage, showing off a lot of gameplay, including the parkour, stealth, combat, and so much more. It's been 3 years since Assassin's Creed Valhalla released, so naturally, anyone who's a fan of Assassin's Creed is anticipating this game big time. Of course, with the release date coming up fast, there's a lot to get through, so let's just dive right into all the information you need to know about Assassin's Creed Mirage. First things first is the most basic thing, which would be the plot of Assassin's Creed Mirage. As we've known for a while now, Assassin's Creed Mirage is about Basim ibn Ishaq, who we were first introduced to in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Mirage will tell the story of how Basim went from a petty street thief to a member of the Hidden Ones, the precursors to the assassins that we all know and love from the main Assassin's Creed games. From the gameplay footage we've seen, we'll get a look at Basim's life and how the Hidden Ones recruited him. We also get to see some training as Basim advances in the Hidden Ones and spends his time at the Alamut Fortress, which at the time was still under construction. Assassin's Creed Mirage will focus on one city, which is Baghdad in the 9th century Abbasid Caliphate. Baghdad at this time was historically known as one of the most advanced cities in the world, and it was the center of trade, education, and innovation. Obviously, this is a super rich historical location with a ton to learn about, and Ubisoft actually did partner with museums to get pictures of real historical artifacts and to give more life to Baghdad and Mirage. As we know from the story, Assassin's Creed Mirage will be linear, with a set plot, and will not have the same RPG choice system that we've seen in the RPG Assassin's Creed titles, which would be Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Of course, though, the choice system is more in Odyssey and Valhalla. That's because Assassin's Creed Mirage is supposed to be more of the style of the classic Assassin's Creed games, so it will have a smaller structure, and its gameplay was designed based off of Assassin's Creed 1 and the Ezio trilogy more than other Assassin's Creed games. If you did play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Mirage takes place about 20 years before the events of that game. Basim is also apparently haunted by visions of a dark spirit known as a djinn, which will serve a role in the story as you progress. Basim's mentor Roshan was a former Persian slave and is now a high-ranking assassin, and she trains Basim into the Hidden Ones. Roshan is actually being voiced by Shoreh Aghdashloo, an Emmy-winning actress who has starred in Netflix's Arcane and many other works. The main story of Assassin's Creed Mirage will likely take about 20 hours or so to fully complete without doing any of the other side missions and quests. It will be a much faster play than Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is more in line with previous Assassin's Creed games. We will also see Basim take on the Order of the Ancients, who we were first introduced to in Assassin's Creed Origins, and what we know as the Templars in the main Assassin's Creed games. The Order of the Ancients have a corrupt hold over the city of Baghdad, and Basim is training so that he can take out several members of the Order of the Ancients, much like many other Assassin's Creed titles. Throughout it, Basim will also uncover things about himself, the ideas of freedom, and what it means to be a Hidden One. There is also an add-on quest called 40 Thieves, which seems to be a take on the classic Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves tale. This quest comes with pre-orders of the game for free, and there is a trailer for it, which is what you're seeing in the background right now of this video. Not much else has been revealed just yet, though. As I mentioned earlier, Assassin's Creed Mirage takes place in Baghdad, and the map of the city will be split into 4 districts. As we know, there is an industrial district and a gardens district. The map was designed with verticality in mind, which means that it emphasizes upward movement, catering much more to the parkour system present in Mirage. There are also bigger crowds and lots of hiding places, making things like social stealth much easier and much more emphasized than in the RPG games. Although Baghdad is where most of your gameplay will take place, you'll be able to travel to Alamut, which is a bit on the outskirts of the city. Alamut is where most of the prologue of the story takes place, as we see Basim training to become a Hidden One. Alamut has been mentioned many times in Assassin's Creed and is an integral piece of the lore, but Mirage will be the first game to actually explore this towering fortress. In history, Alamut was actually a real place, which is present in modern-day Iran, Iran, and it was a hub for the Persian arm of the assassins. The other hub for the real-life assassins was in Masyaf, Syria, which was explored in the first Assassin's Creed game, of course. Alamut is a more natural environment, which is starkly different from the sprawling urban location of Baghdad that most of the game will explore. The map is significantly smaller than what we've been getting in the past few Assassin's Creed games, seeing as it does focus on just one city rather than an entire region like we had with Odyssey and Origins. Since Mirage will focus more on stealth gameplay, the map design caters more to that, with lots of opportunities to get away from enemies by traversing across rooftops, sprawling markets, and streets. While watching some of the gameplay lately, as I unfortunately didn't get to try Mirage early, I saw that Baghdad reminded me quite a lot of cities like Damascus from Assassin's Creed 1, but it also had the vibes of Assassin's Creed Origins, with its desert setting. It's definitely a beautiful looking city, and I'm very much looking forward to exploring as much as possible of it. Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be a bit different gameplay-wise compared to, of course, the RPG games. Firstly, Mirage is focused more on stealth and parkour. You are encouraged to take stealthy approaches to missions, and are more encouraged to assassinate rather than slam into combat like you might have done in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There is no leveling system for the weapons or for Basim. Basim does progress from a petty assassin to a master assassin, but there's no numerical levels like we've seen in other Assassin's Creed games. There is a skill tree, which is more simplified and refined compared to the more recent Assassin's Creed games as well. However, the skill tree simply unlocks skills, and it doesn't have any impact on Basim's level in the game. Social stealth, which was a mechanic in older Assassin's Creed titles that allowed for you to blend in with crowds, is much more impactful this time around compared to Valhalla. You will be able to blend in with crowds again, and your hood actually stays on even when you're not being stealthy. Basim is also specifically designed to be a bit weaker, and by weaker, I mean that the game pushes you to use combat less and to use stealth more. So enemies are much stronger and killing them will be much harder. A lot of Mirage will emulate the original Assassin's Creed games, with you needing to identify targets, track them down, and assassinate them. Many of the side missions are set up to involve things like finding clues, bribing guards, pickpocketing, and eavesdropping on conversations. These would be known as the black box missions. This is a very similar style to the system of mission setups from Assassin's Creed 1. There are also some more additions like slowing down time with assassin focus, stealth assassinations on multiple targets, and pole vaulting to be able to traverse long and wide spaces. I'm honestly loving the stealth focus in Mirage, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It really sells this whole idea of the assassin fantasy across really well, because that's honestly what I felt Assassin's Creed has always kind of been about. Since the beginning, the idea of a stealthy, brutal assassin has really been the selling point for me, at least, in regards to this series, aside from the great characters and visuals. As you play as Basim, you have access to his main weapons, but also an array of tools that are meant to help during combat and stealth runs. You have the dagger and the sword that you use for most combat, which are really the only weapons you have in the game. I don't know if Hidden Blade combat is available in Mirage in the same way that it was in Assassin's Creed 2. I haven't really seen that being done, so I think it's not in this game, which this is a bit disappointing if that's the case, but the sword combat does overall look good. Movement in Assassin's Creed Mirage has changed compared to that of Valhalla. Although Mirage is built off of the same engine as Valhalla, you will not be able to climb everything in this game. Yes, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla allowed almost all surfaces to be climbed, but that's not present in Mirage. Jean-Luc Sala, the artistic director for Mirage, said that this was done so that the game would feel more like a puzzle in a similar style to older Assassin's Creed games, where you had to actually analyze your surroundings and determine a route from there. The tools in Mirage are, in my eyes, absolutely fantastic. We've got noisemakers, smoke bombs, gas bombs, throwing knives, sleeping darts. I mean, seriously, these are all fantastic for a stealth-focused game, and it really got me excited to see people using smoke and assassinating unsuspecting targets like we did in Assassin's Creed Unity. With these tools as well, you can take different approaches to assassinating targets, which is great as different people obviously have different playstyles. That falls in line more with the skill trees of Predator, Phantom, and Trickster. You can only select one playstyle though, and then you unlock the skills in the tree you pick. I actually saw this post on Reddit which showcased the 3 playstyles in action on the same target. I'll show that video now. The eagle is still present in Mirage, and Kido basically acts as your spotter so that you can scope out your target areas. However, certain enemies can shoot and Kido down, so you need to be careful when you're scoping an area out so you can spot these enemies and take them out first. Although Assassin's Creed Mirage is not an RPG game, there are still some customization elements that will allow you to make the game feel more tailored to your style, even if you're playing as a set character. For one, outfit dyes are coming back in Mirage. These were first introduced in Assassin's Creed 2, and they have been a heavily requested addition to the games since they were dropped back around Assassin's Creed Unity. In addition to outfit dyes, there are also other outfits Basim can don. One of them is the Far East Merchant outfit, which is available from merchants throughout Baghdad. There is also the Master Assassin costume, which is unlocked once you reach the highest rank, which is Master Assassin. There's an Abbasid Knight outfit as well, which I think looks absolutely amazing. I've been wanting a game to have an outfit like this for a long time now, to be honest. There are outfits and costumes in Mirage, and costumes are just cosmetic. They don't have any perks, but outfits do have perks. So a costume basically will go on over your outfit. It's simply a cosmetic. Just keep that in mind when you're playing. Customization in Mirage is certainly not going to be as in-depth as the RPG games, but it does feel more like the older Assassin's Creed games in this regard, and does provide at least some level of personalization. There is no sword customization, but if you do get the deluxe edition of Mirage, you'll get access to the Prince of Persia bundle. This just comes with a Prince of Persia inspired horse, weapons, and outfit. Technically, this does make the sword look all magical, but it's obviously just a cosmetic look. If you're playing Assassin's Creed Mirage on PC like myself, there are a few things that you need to know about what specs are recommended or even supported for Assassin's Creed Mirage. If you're going to be playing Mirage on your Xbox or your PlayStation, obviously you don't care about this, but just to note, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S are all supported. The PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 are also supported. So even if you have last-gen consoles, you'll still be able to play Mirage. Now back to the PC specs, Assassin's Creed Mirage will run at 4K 60 FPS with HDR, and it does have increased performance with Intel Xe SS for PCs. It's optimized for Intel Arc GPUs and the 13th gen Intel Core CPUs. For all presets, you'll need at least 40 GB of storage, and you have to have either Windows 10 or Windows 11. The lower preset at 1080p 30 FPS requires the following. For the CPU, you need an Intel Core i7 4790K or the AMD Ryzen 5 1600. If you have an Intel Arc GPU with rebar, you need at least an Intel Core i5 8400. The GPU should be the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 with at least 6 GB or the AMD Radeon RX 570 with 4 GB. It also supports the Intel Arc A380 with 6 GB. You should have at least 8 GB of RAM. The high preset of 1080p at 60 FPS requires an Intel Core i7 8700K or AMD Ryzen 5 3600. You also need for the GPU either the Intel Arc A750 with 8 GB, the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Ti at 6 GB, or the AMD Radeon RX 5600 XT with 6 GB. You'll need 16 GB of RAM total. The high preset at 1440p or 2K with 60 FPS requires an Intel Core i7 9700K or AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. For the GPU, you need either the Intel Arc 770 at 8 GB, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 at 8 GB, or the AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT at 8 GB, and you need 16 GB of RAM. And finally, for the Ultra preset of 2160p or 4K at 60 FPS, you'll need an Intel Core i5 11600K or the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080 at 10 GB or the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT at 16 GB, and you'll need at least 16 GB of RAM. So if you have been getting into the handheld realm lately with the Steam Deck or ROG Ally, Mirage should be able to run on both systems with good performance, but I'll be able to confirm that once I get my hands on the game. Personally, I own the ROG Ally, so I'll let you all know if it plays well on that. In terms of language, if you're someone that speaks Arabic, Assassin's Creed Mirage does have full offering in Arabic with a fully voiced dub in Arabic. They did show off some of what that sounds like before, and the actor for Basim in the Arabic version is a famous Jordanian actor who starred in a lot of Egyptian works, so he's a well-known voice in the Middle East. If it's good or not, I will let you know, as I'm probably gonna play it in Arabic to see how it is. I do think it's very cool that Mirage is including the Arabic option for the dub, because I personally liked playing a game such as Unity, for example, in French. To me, it just feels more immersive. And that was a lot to get through. I don't know about you all, but I'm actually pretty excited to see how Assassin's Creed Mirage will turn out. I've been wanting a more classic Assassin's Creed experience again. Don't get me wrong, I did like Origins and Odyssey quite a lot, but I do want a bit of that older feel, and I think Mirage was a perfect game to do that in. Until Mirage comes out on October 5, stay tuned for my review, and in the meantime, stay tuned for my Lies of P review, which I'm currently working on as well. And I'll wrap it up there, but thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, feel free to leave a like and comment below your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Mirage. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications set to all so you never miss out on a single upload. Check out our website for gaming news, entertainment, and more. The link to that, as well as all of our other important links, are in the description below.